So welcome back guys, as you can see we are here at KTM in Saltash, and it's been a couple of years I've been wanting to test the Superduke, but sadly it's always been in for like a service or somebody's had it out, so hopefully today it's going to be available. I did phone up earlier and it's going to be available all day, so let's get on the road and see what we think of it. Welcome back to the channel guys. This is going to be an exciting one. I think it's going to be a nice comparison because I'm on the Superduke R 1290. I've been wanting to test this for a while, and anytime I've been to KTM, either someone's had it out on a test ride or it's been in for a service. That was the other one as well, so I never got a chance to test it, so I'm quite excited, and KTM are nice enough to let me have this for a couple of hours. So hopefully it's going to be a good test. Let's pull over for this ambulance, let them pass first. And oh, hopefully someone's not in too bad a situation. Well, so back to where we were. Yes, I've been really excited to test this, and I'm glad I've actually managed to, so here we are. So before we get into it, all what I say is if you guys can do all the YouTubery stuff that you do, so if you do like this video then give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. That's all I'm going to say on it, and but cheers to everyone who has subscribed already and liked the videos. It's been really positive and I'm enjoying doing them for you guys, so thanks for that. Let's get into it. So yeah, so far first impressions out of the box, I am just in street mode, and yeah, it's really nice, really smooth. Like after it for a V-twin, I would definitely say at lower speeds it feels a lot smoother than the Monster. So I'm always going to compare it to the Monster because that's what I've got, that's what I ride, and I can also compare it to some other naked bikes, so like the MD10 I've tested that, and I have also tested the Tono one point. That was a while ago, so maybe not a fair comparison, but hey ho, we'll put it all in together. But oh, nice, quick shifter's really smooth as well, give it that. But let's try and do this a bit systematically. I'm not going to go into all the stats and stuff. I mean, you guys are all smart enough to be able to go and research that yourself. You can see what the numbers are. I'm not even going to pretend that I know all the numbers off the top of my head. All I do know is I think it's about 170, 180 brake horsepower and about 103, 105 pound-foot of torque. Woo, nice. Oh, that's lovely and smooth. You can still feel the V-twin vibrations, and but do you know what? It's not too bad. Really not too bad. It's quite nice, and oh, got a good bit of power even in that street mode. We will change the modes as we go along, as we try a few different things, so for the moment let's just get used to the bike in street mode. So let's talk about comfort. I have to say the pegs are in quite a nice position for me. Like I find the same as on the Monster, they're in that position where they are sporty enough, but also as well if you're doing a longer, more casual ride, then you can kind of almost just put your midfoot on or your heel and you can just sit back and relax. It's actually quite a nice riding position. I think you can do quite a bit of, well, also I've only been on it for 5 minutes here, and yeah, I think you could sit and be quite comfortable if you're just out for a bit of a cruise, if you really want to cruise in this type of machine. That is. The tank between the legs feels quite wide, also looks quite wide as well. Feels quite wide up here, but it's not bad. It's not uncomfortable. It's actually, my legs are in quite a natural position, and it's okay. It's perfectly fine, but it does feel quite wide, especially if I was at a stop and I put my feet down. I can get my feet down perfectly fine. I'm 5'11", and I find that I've got a 32-inch in a leg, that if that applies to anyone, and I can get my feet down perfectly fine. There's no issues there. But when I first got on the bike, it kind of has a bit of a squared off feel to it. I wouldn't say uncomfortable, because again, that's only when you're standing, so if you're stopped at lights and stuff, that you'll notice that maybe. But where you're on the bike, it's fine, it's comfortable. The seat's quite comfortable. I mean, I am pretty much all the weight feels like it's on my backside, and good thing I've got a good bit of cushion in there to make it even softer. One thing I have done a couple of times, maybe because I'm just not used to it yet, is I keep missing the change lever and with my foot, but I'm sure once we get a bit more used to that. But look at this, slow speeds, and it's just nice. It's quite nice just to cruise along. Oh, that's quite surprised. I thought, being the beast that everyone calls it, that I was going to be very snatchy, but it's actually quite smooth in that second gear. Actually, let's put it into first gear. That's always a good way to see. Let's just cruise along. Oh no, I'd say that's smoother, a lot smoother than the Monster. In first gear, the Monster can be a little bit snatchy, bit on and off, quite impressive. But yeah, let's say, obviously, without a doubt you can chuck it back and forth. I don't know why I even remotely doubted that with the big wide bars. The weight of it, the weight of it feels quite nice. It feels quite even. It's not feeling like, oh, that's my problem there, I think. Yeah, so actually the guys saying that about the quick shift, I need to remind myself that apparently it's best to use the quick shift above 20 mile an hour. I know in the Monster actually I can go through town and it's fine without using the quick shifter at the slower speeds. The guys saying over 20 mile an hour seems to be the thing. And also just be aware of what you're doing with the throttle. Either I'll be constant or slightly accelerating to go up, and obviously fully off to go back down. I know that speaks for itself, but hey, that's what the guys at KTM said to me, so I'm just going to pass that on to you guys. But yeah, really nice. It gives you quite a bit of confidence, and I have tested the 790 before, and I admit I quite liked it. I thought it was quite a nice little bike, to be honest. That was before I started doing the YouTube videos, so sadly I don't have one of that, but I can say if you're going to go test 790, it got a thumbs up from me. So I'm hoping if this is anything like that, this is going to be even more fun. And look at that, just chuck it right in, no bother. I do feel that I'm sitting a little bit more on top of the bike rather than necessarily in the bike. Like in the Monster you feel quite in it. This I feel a little bit more on top, but to be honest, that's not a bad thing. That doesn't really feel too much like a bad thing. It's you know, quite nice actually sitting up here. I'm quite comfortable, quite content. I'm just going to try to overtake these guys. Let's not die along the process. Let's get past him. Oh, let's use that beast power. Look at that, let's get it open. Nice. That's very nice. Let's bring it back down it. So, that, just going through the gears there, quick shifter smooth as anything. Oh, you can't complain with that. No clunkiness, hasn't missed a beat. Straight away, impressed. The acceleration is just nice and smooth, got a good bit of power. I will have to pull over, I think, to change the ride mode from what the guys were telling me. Again, on the Monster I can do that on the fly, I can just roll off the throttle and it will change the mode, but I think the guys said I need to pull over, but we'll test it, we'll see. This has also got cruise control as well, so we'll have a retest that as well, but definitely, comfort wise, I'm quite content. I don't know what a pillion would be like. The rear seat, we'll have a look in a bit. Looked quite high, but yeah, I'm quite comfortable to begin with. We'll see how we feel after a couple of hours, see if that's still the same situation. But yeah, comfort at the moment, good thing. Also with this, there's no wind protection, as you might be able to hear in the mic. I do apologise if you are hearing a lot of wind. I'll try and reduce that as much as possible. But yeah, there's no wind protection, but you know what, it's not too bad. Like today, there is a bit of a breeze in the air. It is a little bit windy today, but actually I'm alright. It's kind of, I don't feel like I'm getting fully, like I'm sitting at what, 60 mile an hour here, and I don't feel like I'm getting completely smashed with the wind. It actually feels quite diffused. Now I will say that I am not the biggest fan of the KTM looks. I don't think they're bad, but I do think there's much nicer looking bikes out there, which I know probably have just offended. Fucking idiot, didn't even look. Oh, right, what was I saying, sorry. Yeah, I've probably just offended a few people there with that. And you know, that I'm not the biggest fan, but I know some people absolutely love it. Look at that. Yes. But yeah, like I think they're okay. I do think there's nicer looking bikes out there, but I'm a big fan. But this is where I think it's good, because if I'm impressed with the performance of the bike, I always like to know, is the look something I can kind of just look past, you know, like, you know, if you know it's a nice bike and you love the enjoyment of the bike, do I really care how much I'm actually looking at it? You know, how much do you get to actually see the bike when you're on it? Don't get me wrong, with my Monster, I have to admit, when I park up, I always have to have a little look. I think she's a charming looking thing, and I mean, she does get a little bit of fuss, you know, so can't really complain there. But with this, I'm sure it'll be the same. I'm sure loads of people would stop and have a look and check her out, and this is lovely and smooth, I have to admit. But looks wise, not my favourite, but so far I have to say I've got a bit of a smile. You might not be able to tell, but I've got a smile on the inside of my helmet. This is a lovely bike to be riding. These are really, really smooth. Very nice. Let's I wonder if you can change mode. Let's see, ride mode. I've actually put my phone right in front of the menu here. Let's put it into sport. Close throttle, twist grip. Oh, there we go. So you can do it on the move. So the guy lied to me. So you can actually do that on the move. I don't know how I go back here on the menu. There we go, the little back button. So we're now in sports mode. Oh yes, she's got a bit of grunt. She sounds a bit angrier. Let's see if we can get a little overtake and get beans on this thing going. Oh, as I go up that road, never mind. What happens when you're not paying attention to your sat nav? I'm sure it will reroute for me. Yeah, and we'll just go up and 5 miles to turn round. I don't think so. Oh yes, sports mode. Right, sports mode's a different beast. Oh, that throttle's a little bit more sensitive. Let's see if we can turn round so we can go back here. But yeah, sports mode. Oh, listen to that. I don't know if you can hear it. Let's go. Yes, baby. Now, this is what we're talking about. This is my sort of mode. Sports mode. A bit more aggressive. But even sports mode. So sports mode, first gear. And it's still pretty smooth, like doing the slow speeds there. You could hold that if you went from a twisty road. Okay, but you switch it off and it suddenly feels like you're braking, so let's get into second gear. But yeah, sports mode, I think this is the place where I want to be. You know, but it's handy to know that you can just switch it on the go. You can, you know, change around, and if you hit twist road, put it into sports mode, get into town, put it back into street mode, and it's, you know, they're perfect. It seems to be suited for that, exactly what it's set up for, which is always nice. As I say, the controls are quite nice. You can see they've actually probably put a little bit of thought into them, and you know, with the gloves on, dead easy to feel what you're touching there, what you're using. I've not had any, no, I've not accidentally put like the indicators on. The other one I'm really good at doing is accidentally hitting the horn, beeping at people. But the controls are really good. So what you've got on here, obviously got your lights on there, you've got your cruise control, you've got your little dial for going through the menu. It's quite a big menu structure in this, from what the guy was showing me. And the cruise control, there's got the 2 bits underneath as well for adjusting your speed. we'll maybe have a little go at that shortly. And I think cruise control is a cracking thing to have on a bike. You know, if you just want to give your driving hand a bit of a rest every now and then, especially on a big journey. On this side here, it's actually, what I should say is on this side is all the key, so it's keyless fob, which I'm not a big fan of. I can agree with just have a bit on the bike for the key. You know, it's not exactly a big issue. Yeah, so what I was saying is it's a keyless fob, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Why put more things in my pockets, especially when you're in leathers like this, when you've got limited pockets anyway. Lucky enough I've got the bag on today so I can fling all my stuff in there. But it's not a big issue just having a key on the bike, you know. But hey, each to their own. I guess it's nice you can just press buttons, switch on, all that stuff. You don't have to worry about it. And yeah, on this side you've got the start button, your hazards, ignition, and there's these two little C1 and C2 buttons up there, and they're customisable buttons, which I didn't know that the bike had. So any of the stuff that's on the bike, like say if you had something like heated grips like the guys were saying, you can just set one of those customisable buttons when you want to, and it just switches them on for you, and without having to like go through the menus and stuff like that, you know, so which I thought was really cool. I think that'd be quite a nice feature to see on other bikes, a couple of customisable buttons for the things you want readily available, you know. So the brakes are really good, I have to admit, really responsive, give you a lot of feedback. Like, it's a very natural feeling brake for me, and like I say, it doesn't feel too different from the M50s on the Monster. And on top of that is all the suspension. So the guys were saying it's quite a bit more of a stiffer, sportier chassis on it, and the suspension. But to be honest, these aren't the smoothest of roads, and this is, you know, quite comfortable. You know, going down those roads not too bad at all. Like, I'm quite content. Like, you maybe want to soften up a little bit, maybe if you're on a bigger journey, but for just maybe like your everyday riding about and going out for a blast, seems perfectly fine to me. I think the setup's not bad. There is also, they're all adjustable, and it's WP suspension that's on there, so fully adjustable. There's a few different bits on the rear the guy was showing me as well, and there is also one, I don't know actually what I call it, what's the proper name for it, but there is the main sort of, if you want to just adjust it on the go, you can twist it and soften, harden up as you're on the go, which is quite good. A few little tight bends here, let's knock it down. Look at that. And this is no bother going through these sections of roads. Yeah. Oh, that's a good bit of power. I have to admit, I'm quite impressed. I've been on it for a little bit now, been through some roads. I'm quite impressed. That power's lovely. But it's not uncontrollable. I know everyone calls it the Beast, and maybe that's because, I mean, this is the 2020 version, so it's the new version, and maybe they've reined it in a little bit, you know. So, because I find it's like a lot of these big bikes, and they always get made out to be quite scary, you know, because they've got the power there. I mean, they can be scary. I mean, look at that, like, you see that just pulls. But if you ride like a normal human being, just like a normal person, you're not riding like a hooligan, then they're perfectly fine. But then when you hit a road that you can open up the throttle and you can enjoy it, it's there. Like, look at this road. This road's, you know, it's got a lot of dirt on the road, it's twisty, it's small, it's narrow, you're not going very fast, but the bike's fine. Like, I'm very comfortable going down this lane. I don't feel like, oh god, I'm going to crash here. It feels like a really nice smooth ride, and I can enjoy it. I'm really enjoying this little road here. Little twisty road's nice. Brakes are really good. Those brakes are lovely. Oh, a bit of stones in the road, which we always like to see. Even in sports mode, this is lovely. Love it. And you can hear that growl. Love that growl. We're going right up here. We're back into Devon. So there you are, guys. That's the Superduke. I have to admit, she's looking quite mean. I think this year she looks not too bad.
As you can see there, we have the WP Apex suspension on there, along with obviously the Brembo calipers. It's looking pretty sweet. Yeah. I was saying earlier on with that high rear seat and stuff like that, so I don't know, it'll be like with a pillion on the back. Obviously the single sided swing arm, and obviously the laser engraved exhaust can on there. Which is, to be honest, for this year, like I was saying, I'm not the biggest fan of the looks, but she does look far better this year, I think, than previous. That sloping light at the front there, which does look quite mean, very futuristic. Yeah, so what tyres we've got in there? We've got the Bridgestone S22s, which I think are fantastic tyres. I've got them on the Monster, so yeah, that feels very familiar. No wonder it was sticking to the road. But there you go, guys.
So guys, now that we're back on the bike, what can we say? What a fantastic bike this is. So much fun. That engine's amazing. Smooth, powerful, but yet easy to ride. The brakes are good. They're just nice and natural. And you're off again. The suspension, I think, is fine. I've not adjusted it at all since being out on the test ride, and it seems to be okay for me. I'm sure you could tweak it for everything you need it for different bodies, you know, like you're bigger, smaller, if you want to be in the track or you want to be cruising, but I think it's fine just the way it is. And it's, I mean, look at that, you can just chuck it in front, it's lovely. Really easy chucking out, really good handling, fills your confidence, really easy to ride, and it's brilliant, brilliant bike. I'm not a fan of looks, like I said, but you know what, I think if I was ever to own one, I could look past that. I think I could easily look past the looks, because it's not really that bad looking. It's just, I think there's nice looking bikes out there, but the actual bit of fun you get out of it is fantastic, and I think that outweighs the looks by far. And yeah, so I think overall fantastic bike, lovely. You know, everyone should test one, I think, see what it's like, see what you think, let me know what you think. But I think that's it for this week. That's all I can really say is go out and test one and let me know. It's brilliant, a lovely bike, I really liked it. There's not many, the only thing apart from the looks, that's the only thing I don't really like about it. I could happily deal with it. Yeah. So yeah, cheers guys for watching. If you have liked this video, give it a thumbs up and all that, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'll try and get videos out as when I can. You know, it's a bit crazy times, and but with work and everything and COVID and all that, I'm trying my best to try and get some videos done. But so yeah, just keep an eye out for them, and yeah, cheers again. I'll see you next time, guys.